Sometimes it's your own family that is envious of you. Sometimes it's your own family that is jealous of you. We all can recognize jealousy when we see it, but it's hurtful when it comes from your loved ones. It's very hurtful when you're loving your loved ones and you're supporting your loved ones just to see them later envy you or be jealous of you and unsupportive. I have a cosmetic line that I launched years ago, and I quite naturally thought my relatives would support me. And some relatives did support me, and some relatives are supporting me. But the relatives that I grew up around, like cousins and aunt, different people that I grew up around closely, just did not feel the need to support me. But my grandmother told me years ago to watch certain people in our family. And I was much younger when she told me that, and I thought it was almost cruel the way that she would always speak on this one particular family inside our family, these relatives that were in our family, that are in our family. She would always say, I don't trust her. I don't like him. You need to be careful. Keep your son away from him. Pretty much telling me that they mean you no good. And at the time, these were loved ones that I cherished, that I felt like I had a good relationship with. But my grandmother ended up being right. I mean, she passed years ago, and it was some years after she passed away. Every single family member that she warned me about that I didn't want to see in a negative light or see their negativity because I love them so much, she was absolutely right about. And she never let up on that. And these are close family members. I don't want to share which family members because I want to respect my grandmother's privacy and not expose if it was an aunt or if it was a cousin or if it was whoever. But the people that she warned me about are the people that I end up having major problems with. I don't talk to them today. I've had encounters with them that was not good. They lied on me. Every single family member that my grandmother warned me about lied on me, said something derogatory about me, just always tried to paint me in this negative light. However, if my grandmother wouldn't have warned me that before she died, I just probably would be in a messed up state of mind. But because she told me, everyone that you come in contact with, whether it's friends or family, does not want to see you rise. She was very, 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 she did not finish school, She would probably be nearly 100 years old today. She did what she had to do to take care of her family, but she didn't have much education, but she was still extremely intelligent, very smart, very, very wise. And she left me with stories and conversations that I have carried on into my adulthood. And she was 100% right. Maybe I was not as mature, because the older you get, the more mature and wiser you become. But she instilled these thoughts in me. And she told me these things because of the love that she had for me. I feel like we were extremely close. I feel like family don't understand or did not know how close we were. She pretty much helped me raise my son. She just instilled a lot of wisdom in me. And when it comes to people being envious and jealous of you, and you see that it exists, you need to figure out a way to get away from those type of people. Not let those type of people be so relevant in your life. You will learn from those that truly love you. And my grandmother truly loved me. Our birthdays were 2 days apart. So we had more in common than people understand. But because of the wisdom, because of the conversations we had that we kept between one another, is the reason why I can rise above a lot of things that is just so obvious, like jealousy and envy. And jealousy and envy is a sin. God do not want us being jealous and holding grudges. I have a relative in my family. My mother used to always tell me, if I didn't make the first move, or if I didn't call her, she would never call. She holds grudges, and she does. She's someone that I've always had in my life, someone that I grew up with, someone I grew up loving. She can be extremely cold, but she requires you to be extremely respectful to her. And she raised her kids the same way, to think that they are better than others, to think that they are above others, that they don't have to, they don't have to live by the same type of rules as everyone else. I think it's an ugly look when you raise your kids to think that they are better than others, to turn their nose up to others, to, every family have one. And with her, she's someone that I was taught to respect, and I did my entire life. She was someone that I looked at as a mother, until one day she brought me into a situation with her own mother that had nothing to do with me. And she said something derogatory about me, a derogatory name. I will not repeat it. But my son was 6 years old at the time, and he heard her say this about his mother. She didn't have the decency to respect my 6-year-old son. She did not care that she just drugged my name into a situation that had absolutely nothing to do with me. But that is what my grandmother was telling me most of my life. All of my son's life at that time, my grandmother was saying, don't deal. Watch this person. Watch her kids. Her kids are different. Her kids aren't like this child or you all. Her kids are different. And at the time, I was so close to these two children. They were my heart. I would babysit them. I would feed them. It's nothing I would not do for a child. I love kids. Kids are my weak spot. I love them. And I remember one incident happened. And my grandmother, she didn't say I told you so, but she pretty much was telling me this is what I was trying to tell you not that long ago. I was babysitting the two of these. They were kids at the time, and they were my cousins. And one cousin lied on me. He said that he was hungry and I didn't feed him, which was ludicrous. Which anyone that knows me knows that I cater to kids and I take really good care of kids. That's why they were always left in my company. People are not going to get you to babysit their kids and watch their kids constantly if you're not doing your job. It's something about me that made this particular relative always come to me to babysit her kids. And so when her son, and he was extremely young at this time, maybe 7, 8 years old, but he lied on me. And he did that because he knew that his mother would take his side and that his mother believed every single thing her kids brought to her. And not always are your kids going to be, you can't take anyone at just their word all the time. You have to kind of investigate. You have to go to that person and hear their side. But her children knew that she was not that type of mom. She was busy being their friend. And she would turn on anyone in a New York minute that did not agree with her and her, whatever, her circumstances. But her kids knew that. They had her trained. And my grandmother knew that you need to watch this child. And she would always tell me that. And I never, ever, I almost felt, I was hurt by her telling me this because I did not like it. I respected her thoughts and the things that she would say to me, but I felt a way about it until that moment. And since then, I have seen so much with these individuals that my grandmother would warn me about. And when I say these are close family members, and they were even closer family members to her, it just stayed with me. I'm like, these are her loved ones. I know she loved them. So there's something that she's trying to tell me that I'm just not getting right now. But as I got older, I quickly start to understand. And if you have people in your life that are just jealous of you and you know it, I don't care who they are. They can be a friend, they can be a family member. Please do not keep those type of people in your circle. They will hinder your growth.